Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 18th of December. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts, and I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.subset.com, and it's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, great. Let's have a look at ES. Now, ES, we went down yesterday, but we didn't reach target, and I think at this stage, having broken below the daily middle band yesterday on SPX and actually seen a third close below the QQQ daily middle band, I think we're owed a test to this level. So I think this morning, yesterday morning, obviously we had a rally, it failed, and we went into lower lows. I'm thinking there's a pretty good chance we're going to be seeing exactly the same thing today. After that, well, we've got a bullish leaning day tomorrow. I'm leaning bullish into Christmas and probably a bit afterwards. And I think next week is obviously a big holiday week. Generally speaking, these will resolve bullish. And the next bearish leaning day after yesterday, which obviously delivered, we've got is the 31st of December. I'm not optimistic about the bull's chances on equities in January. But we'll see how that goes. But I'm leaning towards seeing some more downside today, but it's possible we could just break up instead. In Q, we don't have any positive divergence. Does this look a bit like a flag? Yes, I think it's a little deep for a flag though. But these all look like flags for me. RTY. Again, looks like a flag. We have made the original head and shoulder target here. I have drawn in a larger one, which is suggesting a test of the monthly pivot. Obviously, we're well below the monthly pivot on NQ already, and we're below the monthly pivot on SPX already. YM, there's no particular reason to think this goes down, although we do actually have a potential little head and shoulders here. And that would be it. And actually, that's not a bad one. But I don't believe there's an equivalent on the RTH chart. So I've not drawn that in strongly, but obviously there is a chance that we will break down and make the monthly pivot on that too, and possibly go below it. I'm more skeptical about that though, and that's why I hadn't drawn it in. All right, looking at DAX. DAX, not really seeing a head and shoulders here. Probably just likely go with equities down today and up tomorrow, I'm thinking. And ESTX again looks like a flag, and DAX kind of looks like a flag too. These are all likely to resolve back up into retests of the recent highs, and where we haven't seen retests of the all-time highs, I think we're owed those too. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to see them, but certainly in this circumstance at Christmas, generally I would expect to see them. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay, looking at SPX first, we've seen a break below the daily middle band, and I think the 50 DMA as well. So that is a pretty decent break. And I would note that the day after a break like this, we would generally see, well, more often than not, we would actually see a break back up again. Although, yeah, this one here didn't quite make it back up and failed there, but this was the biggest retracement we've seen so far. This one didn't. This one did. This one did. It's not an overwhelming trend, but there's a pretty good chance that we break up from it today. If not, I'd be leaning towards seeing that tomorrow. If we don't see a break back over the daily middle band tomorrow, that actually would have some significant bearish implications into the weekend. In terms of the hourly signals, we have now finished all of the hourly sell signals. SPX1 made target, Qs1 made target, IWM made target, and DIA had already failed. But if it hadn't, I think that would reach the possible near miss target too. But that had already failed. I'm leaning towards a bit more downside today and then upside. It might be that we go straight up today, but I'm thinking there's a pretty good chance we go and make those head and shoulder targets on ES and NQ, and we haven't made those yet. It's more doubtful about the others. RTY one's pretty ambitious and involves a serious break below the daily middle band, though we could see that. So certainly all of this is weaker because tech is trailing. behind the others. Tech has been leading all year. Tech is the main reason that the market is up at all this year. And tech is trailing at the moment and maybe trailing for a while. All right, looking at diet, this is the furthest away from the daily middle band. We'll see how that goes. But all of the negative divergence basically everywhere has been cleared out, except for the daily sell signals, which have still reached possible near-miss targets, and as a result, should be disregarded in any case. All right, looking at IWM. As I said, we came pretty close to the daily middle band yesterday, and I'm leaning towards that maybe breaking today, but if so, rejecting back above tomorrow. In terms of DAX, the head and shoulders failed. That's good. That gives us a target back up at a retest of the all-time high, and we're testing the 50 DMA, which is at 23,957 at the moment. Not really expecting to see a back test of the daily middle band, but maybe. On Nikkei, we've seen another weekday, and we've actually broken down slightly below the main support trend line, which I was wondering about a test and a hold. It has broken down below it slightly. I'm still leaning towards this being a bullish consolidation, setting up again a retest of the high. We will see how that goes. All right, great. Let's have a look at DX, which I'd actually for some reason forgotten to update into the March chart. So, but DX December's just expired today, so I noticed, and I've updated this into March now. Obviously, we've got the double top that's broken down. March, this is in targets in the 97.19 area, and we've got this nice looking falling wedge, which is thinking about heading back into the resistance trend line and possibly breaking up. We will see. Not a lot to see on Euro today, not a lot to see on GBP. Double top breakdown and is rejecting back up into the highs. NZ, we've got a nice looking head and shoulders, which is broken down. That could be rejecting too. We will see, because we're seeing a bit of a decline on the dollar this morning. You can see prices, it's not following it. The candles aren't there, but you can see prices gone down. All right, ZB. ZB is actually, this falling wedge here has broken up. I'm wondering about a possible reversal here. Got to say, we've got some very nice patterns pointing in the other direction, but it's worth noting. This could be a bear flag forming here on ZN. You can see prices just made a higher high over this level here. We will see. But really, there's some news here today. Don't know what that news is yet. All right, looking at CL. Bit of a rally here, leaning towards lower because HO, I think, is likely to go lower, do a full retest of this lower and maybe a bit lower than that. I'm expecting to see that, so I'm leaning towards seeing a bit lower on CL and RBOB while that happens. Obviously, we've already seen low retests and beyond on both of those. On NG, we're seeing a bit of a rally here. The 60-minute buy signal made target. We've got a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing now. I am leaning towards seeing at minimum a retest of the low here after a rally. And I would note that we're just reaching a possible inverse head and shoulder neckline here, and we could pull a right shoulder here and possibly extend the rally higher. This isn't a big rally so far by historical standards. GC, I'm still leaning towards this retesting this short-term high soon and retesting the all-time high soon as well. SI has gone a little higher. Possible rising wedge here, which I'm watching. Haven't quite made it to flag resistance, wedge resistance, but we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed. Palladium didn't really have enough of a sell signal for me to clock this here. We're proceeding up. We made the target at a retest of the October high. We made the extended targets, and we're still continuing higher at the moment. On platinum, going higher as well. 60-minute sell signal has fixed, may or may not deliver any retracement. HG, still, this double top still looks like it's rejecting back up into the high, although it's possible it may not. If so, that may be forming the second high of a larger double top. KC, continuing down, this line here is bigger picture double top support. 60-minute buy signal is fixed and is reconfirming at the moment, thinking we might see a bit of a rally. SB, likely continuing down towards a retest of the November low. CC, could be a flag forming, not seeing an obvious topping pattern forming here at the moment. CT, nice looking double bottom setup here. I was looking for a retest of this low. We've seen it, and I'm thinking there's a pretty good chance this is second low double bottom. Not much of a rally off the low so far. Lumber, this is broken up with a target in the 583 area, and not seeing any obvious thing to suggest that's not going to make that target. The weak 60-minute sell signal failed. on wheat. We're continuing down. We've already made a target retest of the October low, and I may go lower because I'm thinking that corn might go lower as well, although we are seeing a pretty decent rally on this at the moment. We will see. On soy, we've made the head and shoulder target, not really reversing so far, no signal. 60-minute buy signal on ZL, which is rallying a bit, possible double bottom here with a target a bit higher. Not anything really significant in terms of reversal patterns yet. Live cattle, we are testing the week to pivot as support. 60-minute sell signal fixed, not really doing a great deal. HE, we've broken slightly below this rising support, and we've got a potential double top here, hasn't broken down yet. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions, of which we have none. Right, my lean is, and I know it's not looking like this at the moment, and of course it may not happen. My lean is that this rally will fail and we'll go into lower lows today, and there's a pretty good chance we will make these ES and NQ targets. We will see how that goes, and then from there, I'd be looking for a rally tomorrow, starting tomorrow into Christmas. I'm still, normally we would see retest the all-time highs on the Qs and SPX on this setup. So I'm still looking for that, and Christmas should be helping. It's not been helping so far, but as I said, the only we've got a bullish day, leaning day tomorrow. It's Friday, it's OPEX, and I'm leaning towards seeing a positive day tomorrow and likely a positive week next week. We shall see. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Cheers.